Alright, everybody, I'm going to show you today how I like to install the oil pipe on a double overhead cam Honda. So that's the only engine that I work on, so what works on others, I don't know. I only specialize in these engines, all I touch. Anyways, on the oil pipe that feeds the exhaust cam from the intake cam, you've got a top and a bottom. The bigger side, bigger opening is the bottom. The smaller opening is the top. You want to do a visual inspection of your pipe. Make sure that the brass, you don't see any cracks around here. I've only ever seen one that was cracked, and I think it was actually from somebody being ham-fisted, but I did catch it and throw that part away. So anyways, I like to put just a little tiny bit of Moto Seal. This Moto Seal by Permatex gasket maker. That's the only thing that I use in engines. Silicone is for houses. Just remember that. RTV, any of that. And anyways, I get lots of people who give me shit about putting a little bit of this on here. But anyways, all I know is that Hondas get a lot of foamy oil because they do not have O-rings or sealing. They're just going off the surfaces, and trust me, they leak. You don't want to smear a big, huge amount. Doesn't take a huge amount. Even if you got a bit too much there, I don't think you'd have a problem. Okay, so these two end up having the two longer bolts. They're the only two longer bolts in the whole, all of your cam caps. Next thing, since I'm running a V&H, not to be confused with Vance and Hines, I'm just going to call them V&H. If you're going to run one of their cam chain guides that they sell, the way they come, this top lip sticks out too far, so you have to end up bending this out and then put this in here. Or I've seen guys, while the tensioner's out, I've seen them just take a grinder and grind the side of this off. I think this up here is kind of overkill the way that they did it, but it's how it comes. So anyways, you got to bend this out a little bit to get it to fit on there. And before I stick in any of my cam cap bolts, I always like to dip the threads in some fresh oil. Just helps them for later on down the road when you go to take these out. If you've taken many of these out, people are always complaining about the bolts snapping. Well, they're snapping because they've been in there for 40 some odd years and the threads are all dry, and it's just part of it. I do not like the optional. People have got, there's kits out there with Allen head bolts that they're selling. I'm not fond of those kits for the sheer fact that now they come with a washer on them, and then you just got an extra part to worry about falling down inside the engine while you're building it. And if you've ever had anything go down in there and then not be able to get it out after you've buttoned your whole engine together, it can be very frustrating knowing that now you got to split the cases to fish out a bolt or a washer. So anyways, I have no problem with the stock ones, stock bolts that are in there. They're a grade 10 bolt. You got to remember, it's only a 6mm bolt, so it only needs like 6 to 9 foot-pounds. Anyways, that's how you make clearance to so that this upper guide is not hitting the A tensioner. You got to get that or grind it off, like I said, and you can, or you don't have to, put a little bit of sealer there, but just telling you, it helps because these engines just create a lot of foamy oil. The oil pump in them has no O-rings or anything, and it sucks air through there. It sucks air any way it can. The pump's actually pretty strong in these things. Running cold, starting at idle cold, you'll have like 90 psi, and after it's hot and running, most time if the pump's still in good shape, you're going to be having 60 plus psi in these engines. They got a fairly decent pump. It's just not the pieces of the puzzle aren't put together, so you get foamy oil. Anyways, that's why I do this at the top here. Just thought I'd show you guys that. Have a great day.